Hello and good morning. I hope you had a lovely weekend and I hope your morning is coming along well, I presume. And actually, I do recognize that there could be some people who didn't have a good weekend. Actually, it's been a while ever since I posted on here, and apologies for that, but I hope you are fine in the absence of these podcasts. And yeah, by the way, I was wondering, I wanted to. I was actually a bit confused about whether I should keep this as a podcast thing where you only hear my voice or whether I should do it as a video thing. But if I make it a video, then it will no longer be a podcast. And I know it's kind of weird to post podcasts on YouTube, but it's probably the easiest channel I have so far. Channel in the sense that it's the easiest. What do you call it? What's this thing called? Okay. Anyway, it's the easiest way to put it out. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, back to the some people didn't have a good weekend part. I recognize that and I wish there was more I could do, but there's really nothing I can do. And in all things, I'll just encourage you to always look back to God and let Him be your refuge, let Him be your strength no matter what happens. And that's one of the reasons this podcast exists in the first place, to remind you that God is still God at the end of the day, no matter what may happen. See, some people may be listening to this right now in the morning, but may not see the sunset, like life is vanity. Everything is just vanity. We're here today and we're gone tomorrow. But in all things, let us do everything for the glory and honor of the Lord. Let us do everything as though each moment was our last moment, because we never know when our last moment is. Also, excuse my voice. I have a cough if in case I sound a bit hoarse or I clear my throat. So today we're going to look at Psalms chapter 63, and interestingly enough, the title of Psalms chapter 63, according to the New King James Version, is is Joy in the Fellowship of God. Joy in fellowship of God. We often just look for maybe joy in gospel music or joy in being in communion with other Christians, etc. But how about joy in the fellowship of God? So I'm going to read Psalms chapter 63 from the Good News translation, because I just love how simply it puts it. And I want you to just listen to every single word and how beautiful and magical they are. Actually, no, let me not use the word magical. Let me say miraculous, because our God is a God of miracles. So it says, "O God, you are my God, and I long for you. My whole being desires you. Like a dry, worn out, and waterless land, my soul is thirsty for you. Let me see you in the sanctuary. Let me see how mighty and glorious you are. Your constant love is better than life itself, and so I will praise you. I will give you thanks as long as I live. I will lift up my hands to you in prayer. My soul will feast and be satisfied, and I will sing glad songs of praise to you. As I lie in bed, I remember you all night long. I think of you, because you have always been my help. In the shadow of your wings, I sing for joy. I cling to you, and your hand keeps me safe. Those who are trying to kill me will go down in the world of the dead. They will be killed in battle and their bodies eaten by wolves. Because God gives him victory, the king will rejoice. Those who make promises in God's name will praise him, but the mouths of liars will be shut." So I love this verse because I love this chapter because it has so much reverence for God. This is a psalm that was written by David when he was in the wilderness. And Look at verse 7 for instance. Verse 6 to 7 for instance. As I lie in bed, I remember you all night long. I think of you because you have always been my help. In the shadow of your wings, I sing for joy. I cling to you, and your hands keep me safe. I can't even explain the magnitude of the beauty in those verses. Like, just fellowshipping with God, because God is God. At the end of the day, it is God who has been your help. It is God who has hidden you under the shadow of his wings. And just imagine you sitting and doing nothing else but just rejoicing in the Lord for who he is. The birds rise up very early in the morning and they're singing and they're rejoicing, and all creation just shows the glory of God. Like, you look at it and you wonder, how marvelous are these things that the Lord has created. Have you ever walked beside the ocean, let's say sometime in the morning or just anytime, maybe in the evening, and it's very quiet and you're seeing the sunset and the palm trees are just very calm and the water is just moving very swiftly, and everybody loves being in such a place. Everybody loves taking, okay, not everybody, but for people who love taking walks along the beach, you know why you love that. And one of the reasons could be because it's peaceful. Some people love taking walks inside a park or going for a nature ride and all sorts of things. And all these things just show you how great and marvelous God's works are. Think about people who love skydiving. Think of a believer who's going skydiving and seeing the marvelous works of the Lord, how he has created the clouds, the air, the ground. It's so beautiful. And so we have no reason not to just lie and think of God and just imagine how wonderful and how good he has been, how he's been our help and our refuge in times of trouble. I cannot stress this enough. I just find it so beautiful. And as I close this podcast, because I wanted to keep it as short as possible, I want to read Psalms chapter 27 verse 4, and I will read again from the Good News translation, but I think the New King James Version has really good translation. If you have it, then you can look at it over there, but I'll read from the Good News translation, Psalms chapter 27 verse 4. It says, I have asked the Lord for one thing only do I want, to live in the Lord's house all my life, to marvel there at his goodness and to ask for his guidance. Let me repeat that. I have asked the Lord for one thing only do I want, to live in the Lord's house all my life, to marvel there at his goodness and to ask for his guidance. I honestly really pray that this is your prayer, not only for today, not only for this week, but for the rest of your life, because this life is fleeting, as we've discovered, as we know, and there's nothing as important as doing everything for the glory and honor of God, and doing everything and living every moment as though it was your last. Because when you go to a deep sleep right now, the next time you wake up, you'll be face to face with your Savior, and you may have to answer to him. And I just pray that every single day you desire to just be in fellowship with the Lord, to be at his feet, at his temple, and inquire what it is he wants you to do. I really hope you have a beautiful week. I hope you enjoy basking in the glory of the Lord this week and today and all the days of your life. And I pray that it fills you with so much joy, because God is still God and God will always be God. And I'm going to exit with this short song that I want you to listen to. It's such a beautiful song. It's actually one of the songs that led me to Psalms 63. It's called Better Than Life. So enjoy and have a wonderful rest of your week and rest of your Monday. Happy Monday, folks.
Where there is no war. My for you. I have seen you in the sanctuary, beheld your power and glory. My lips will glorify